what is your position or your opinion about the aid conditionality? We have this example from Malawi in 2011.
It's a very, very complicated situation because the first person I write about in my book is Tiwonga Chimbalanga, who, with her fiance, Stephen Monjeza, was sentenced to 14 years hard labor when they held a public engagement ceremony for contravention of the law forbidding carnal knowledge against the order of nature. As a result of this, there was a global campaign to get them freed. And the global campaign was eventually successful. And Auntie and Stephen were freed, and Auntie became a refugee, an exile in South Africa, where she lives in Cape Town, near where I live, on the basis of feared persecution because of her gender identity. Because it turns out that Auntie's transgender, even though she was prosecuted as a homosexual man. Now, one of the things that put the pressure on the Malawian president to help free him, to help free these two, was a suspension of development aid, of certain kinds of development aid to Malawi from several countries, including, I believe, Germany.
Yes.
And that played a part. But it also had a negative side effect, a very powerful negative side effect. Well, let's not say negative. It had another effect too. And the effect it had was that it so happened that the Malawian economy was really in a bad shape. Anyway, prior to these sanctions didn't really affect the economy badly at all. But people could claim that it was homosexuals now, it was the gay rights movement that was causing the economic crash, which was a consequence of the 2008 crash, right? Mm. It really didn't have anything to do with these sanctions. But it was easy for people to claim that it was the LGBTI movement that was causing this crash. And in fact, LGBTI activists had to go underground. Mm-hmm. and were subject to lots of threats and threats of violence. And what was very interesting on this conditionality argument is that when David Cameron, at round about the same time, made a statement that he thought all development aid should be conditional on the decriminalization of homosexuality, a very large number of LGBT organizations and leaders in Africa wrote a letter disavowing this, saying this is a really bad idea for several reasons. Firstly, because we're going to be scapegoated. Secondly, because we are members of these countries too, and we are beneficiaries of the aid as well as maybe more so than our leaders, who are wealthy and don't need this aid the way we need it. And thirdly, because you should really listen to us and listen to what we say and what we say we need on the ground in terms of as a principle of solidarity.